6 senior journalists who worked for Hong Kong's pro-democracy media tycoon Jimmy Lai have pleaded guilty to charges of collusion with foreign forces. This is under the Beijing imposed Hong Kong national security law at a High Court hearing. Prosecutors request to delay mitigation and sentencing until after the defendant's former boss goes on trial in December. Now, the charge carries a maximum penalty of life imprisonment. Our correspondent Martin Yip is in Hong Kong and joins me now. Good to have you with us, Martin. Well, let's start with this. I mean, was this expected that they would plead guilty?
Well, it's a bit hard to analyse on this bit, but pleading guilty traditionally in Hong Kong's criminal system would gain you a jail term discount of 1/3, so we would just have to wait for the lawyers to let people know if this is part of their consideration. But as you've just mentioned, 6 of these senior executives and editors of the now-defunct Apple Daily Hong Kong, which belongs to the Next Media Group, have pleaded guilty to this charge of collusion with foreign forces. The prosecutors still read out their accusation against them in the court session this morning, which includes publishing millions of copies of the newspapers during the charged period, which is somewhat before and after the introduction of the national security law on the 30th of June 2020. Some 150 articles have been listed as evidence, and acts of collusion with foreign forces includes holding editorial meetings to direct how the newspaper should publish, what kind of opinion to be published, things like that. So you can kind of get a picture for now what would happen to Jimmy Lai's trial that would begin on the 1st of December, which is literally next Thursday.
So, Martin, I think people might be wondering what was in those articles that caused such pushback from the Hong Kong government, or indeed under this Beijing law.
Well, in general, these articles, and together with the accusation, is calling for foreign governments, including the United States in particular, to lay sanctions against the Hong Kong and Chinese government, which is outlawed under this piece of law, a national security law for Hong Kong, written, passed, and imposed by the Chinese Parliament, signed into law by the then Chief Executive Carrie Lam, but it never went through the Hong Kong legislature. The Chinese Parliament said so. So it also includes some other acts like interviewing Jimmy Lai himself in their output from their newspaper to the website to their online video output, as well as relaying messages after Jimmy Lai's arrest, telling their editorial staff to hang on before the raid in June 2021, which eventually led to the last version of the paper being published. So even that is being included into this whole allegation of collusion with foreign forces. But in general, it's all about asking foreigners to sanction China, and it's now being outlawed.
That's at the heart of it. OK, well, we shall continue to watch. Thank you very much, Martin, for joining us. And that trial, as Martin was telling us, of Jimmy Lai starting in December.